Sports Live, who's this?
This is Kevin Gorg.
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
It's going just fine.
I just got a couple quick questions for you. As the Wild are getting ready to start the season, I believe on the 8th here. What are your thoughts and expectations going into the season?
Well, we're all pretty excited about where they left off. I know the sweep against Chicago wasn't anything we were looking for, but the series win against St. Louis and a team that looked like some young players were turning the corner. Players like Matt Dumba that kind of burst onto the scene last year, and then the development of players like Niederreiter and Charlie Coyle and the rest of that cast of young players makes us feel good about where this team is going. So, yeah, we're excited. I think the key for Minnesota is to get consistent goaltending, and off what we saw the second half of last year with Devin Dubnyk, it's a whole new season with Dubnyk now ready to start the year with the team. And, if he and Darcy Kemper, along with Nicholas Backstrom, as the veteran mentor, can hold the fort back there on the back end, I mean, they've got enough skill to beat anybody in the West, that's for sure. And I think this is a team that's going to be back in the playoffs. And hopefully this year they'll have home ice, at least in the first round, and have a chance to play the extra game in front of their fans in downtown St. Paul. But hopes are high around the Minnesota Wild right now.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We have a bunch of young people coming up, as well. Also with the great play Dubnyk showed in the second half there. I just hope that he can duplicate that success. Do you feel there's going to be any challenges that he might face early on that could set him back to the way he was before we traded for him, why he was always on the bench?
Well, he's got the physical skills. I mean, he's a 6'5" guy that's athletic. He plays his angles well, and he's got one of the best goaltender coaches in the world, in Bob Mason, kind of along his side day by day. And my only concern is, last year there was no pressure. Last year he came in really not knowing much about the team. The team was well out of it, and it's kind of like coming off the bench in a game when you're the other goalie. It's somebody else's mess. And if you clean it up, you're the hero. If you don't, nobody really thinks about it. Well, that's kind of how the second half of the season was for Dubnyk. I mean, it wasn't his mess to clean up, but he got hot. Team really fell in love with him and found some confidence because of him. And the rest is kind of like a storybook. It reads that way until the Blackhawks series. Now can you do it when those expectations are there from day one? And he is a guy that's always been one of two or three goalies on a roster. He's never been the guy. And that's my biggest question coming into the season. Can Devin Dubnyk now be the man? Be the number one guy like a Henrik Lundqvist that plays, 50 to 70 games and have the pressure of being the guy every single night. He seemed to handle that well once the Wild got into position down the stretch last year. He was great against St. Louis in the first round of the playoffs. I thought he and the team looked a little tired in that second round against the Blackhawks. But to me, anything that I have question around Devin Dubnyk has nothing to do with the physical skills he possesses. He's a terrific goalie. But goaltending is as much mental as it is physical, and now transferring into being, the big money guy that he is, and he signed a big contract. He's got to play with an awful lot of pressure on his shoulders, and he showed last year he could do it in a limited sample size. Now we'll get a full season of Devin Dubnyk, but I have no qualms about the money they gave him or the position he's in. I think it's the right spot and the right time for him to shine.
Yeah, I do too. How much do you have a lot of time left that you can answer one more question?
Absolutely.
Okay.
For sure.
How do you feel that with Jason Zucker? How do you feel he's going to come back again this year? You feel he's going to perform as good as he did, and then along with Thomas Vanek?
Well, it's fun to see both those guys come into camp feeling the way they're feeling. I've had individual conversations with both. I'll start with Vanek, since we taped a couple instructionals that are going to air on our Fox Sports North pregame shows here early in the year. I had a chance to spend a day with Vanek and a day with Parisi doing these skill and skating instructionals. And he works with Diane Ness here in town, who's kind of a skating guru. And I just talked to Thomas about what he was dealing with last year. He didn't really make it public knowledge, but he was dealing with some injuries down the stretch into the playoffs that really took away his speed, what speed he possesses at his age, and it looked like he had lost a step. And so that step is back. He's looked good in camp. The biggest question for Thomas Vanek will always be, even though he's not on that top line, can he put up top line numbers? And, he's a goal scorer. He's always been a goal scorer. And I know the Wild are asking him to shoot the puck more aggressively. And, the Wild are looking for somewhere between 20 to 30 goals from Thomas Vanek. And on the flip side of that, they're also looking for better play without the puck. And I know he's very inspired to do that. I know, like I said, he's healthy now. And so I expect him to put up at least 20, maybe 25 goals this year and be a much better player than we saw from Thomas Vanek in the playoffs. Now, Jason Zucker, to me, along with Zach Parise, is one of the two most natural gifted goal scorers on this roster. And so he's going to score a lot of goals. And if he stays healthy, he could probably have a career year this year. And I think he and Zach will duel. And they both should be in that range of 25 to 35 goals, which is an awful lot on a team that plays defense as aggressively as Mike Yo's teams do. But I think, Jason's just a gifted goal scorer. I had a conversation with him about his off-season training. He changed his regimen. He went back to Nevada, where he's from, and spent 6 days a week working with a former Navy SEAL. And he's big and strong, and he's got his cardio stuff up, and it's the best he's felt in camp as a pro. He told me just a couple days ago, and the shoulder is better, top to bottom. He said he's for once he's been he feels like he's a completely healthy hockey player. And the injury bug has always been something that's bit Jason Zucker. And so the only question I have with him is, can he stay healthy? And he's coming into camp in great shape. He looks good. Like a lot of the forwards in camp, they've had a great preseason. Part of it is the schedule. They've played a couple of D squads that Winnipeg and Buffalo threw out there at the XL Center, and they've run up the score on a couple of those teams, but they look great. They're moving the puck well. They've got their speed, got their legs underneath them. And so Jason's just, I think he's sitting on a big year, and as long as he stays healthy, you can expect him to be in that 30-goal range, which is just a godsend for this hockey team.
Yeah, it is. Zucker last year, he was pretty hot there for a while, and basically almost all year. And with you saying that he's coming in stronger and better, that could help this team down the stretch.
No question.
But I just want to thank you again for calling in the Sports Live here, and
sure thing.
And maybe in a couple weeks, if you're up to it, if you have time, we can maybe have a little longer sit down with you here. But
sure thing.
All right. Well, we appreciate the call, and we will talk to you here again soon.
Nice to be with you guys. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.